So good afternoon, everyone. Today we have Mr. Sahil Aggarwal, who is co-founder and CEO of Rishihood University. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav.
So, being the co-founder and CEO, what is your philosophy of leadership? Like, how you describe your leadership style?
I don't have a philosophy per se, but what I like to do as a leader is emphasize on three things. First is learning. So I want to learn myself, and I also want to encourage a culture of learning within the team. So we keep finding opportunities where everyone can learn. Once we have learned, then we try to innovate. So the second nudge that goes from my side as a leader is how can we do something that has not been done? So can we try new things? Can we innovate? And that applies to me also as well as to my team. And the third thing, once we have learned, once we have innovated, the third thing is, can we create an impact? So does this lead to somewhere? There must be some purpose to what we are learning and what we are innovating on. So those are the three-step kind of things that we try to encourage all our team, and that is my role as a leader.
Okay, perfect. So being the co-founder, how do you strategize about key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of the school?
Okay, so we have our own very able admissions and marketing team, which takes out the message of Rishihood to more and more people. And what the kind of programs we do is we provide them a lot of career counseling. We guide them on what are the new age careers, what is the future about, and what kind of courses they should study, and how do they find their own interest. So one of the programs that we do is called profile building, where we help the students know better about themselves and to build their profile for applying to higher education. Because when the students, they get from school to college, they don't have much idea about where to apply, what kind of courses are there, and how do they strengthen their application. So we actually help them strengthen their application, because with that, irrespective of whether the student comes to us or to some other university, wherever the student gets selected, he or she will be a better student to perform. So we help them in that. Then we have some programs like the gap year program, where the students who have not made up their mind on what they want to do, maybe they want to prepare for some universities abroad, or maybe they want to explore life before committing to higher education. So we invite them to take a 1 year off. They don't formally study, they just explore different things, and then they make up their mind on what they want to do. So we have these different kinds of things that we do. We partner with a lot of schools and teachers, particularly to build their capacity and take these ideas of leadership, entrepreneurship, creativity that are very close to our heart at Rishihood. So we take them to more and more schools so that the students from a young age can start knowing about them. So that is how we spread the word about Rishihood.
Okay, perfect. So coming to the next question, what do you think should be university's top priority over next 10 years?
And it could be different for different universities, but for us, the top priority is to create a unique learning design. So we are a very, very purpose-based institution, very impact-oriented institution, and we want to create a learning design that enables our students to achieve their full potential. The word Rishihood itself is the state of being a Rishi, and we want to inspire this culture in our students that can they achieve this stage, or can they at least move towards achieving the state of being a Rishi, which basically means achieving their full potential. So for the next 10 years, for the next decade, already the work has started. Our main objective is, can we create a learning design, such a unique and powerful learning design, which helps the student achieve this kind of a state of mind. And then this learning design can be scaled up. Other institutions can also adapt this.
Okay. So when you came first to the university, what was your vision towards the university and how it has evolved over time? And how far along with the implementation that vision are?
So we are very new. So of course the vision is at a formative stage. So when we started thinking about this around 5 or 6 years ago, the idea was that there is so much of youth potential in India, and the way the world is changing and the way Indian opportunity is arising, we must prepare the youth to make the best use of this opportunity, which means we need to train them on entrepreneurship, on innovation, on leadership. And those things became the foundational principle of establishing Rishihood University, that can we enhance the leadership quotient of our students in a way that they can create a social impact. So this became our guideline. That guideline we have remained very committed to this guiding philosophy over the last 5 years. Of course, how we actually implement it, how we teach, what kind of curriculum, what kind of faculty, the kind of pedagogies we use, all that is constantly evolving. And that is where I was answering in your previous question that it takes a lot of time. So we have given ourselves this decade to experiment with a lot of new ideas in terms of helping students achieve their leadership potential. And we feel that this core part of the vision, which we are here to provide, that is something that is missing in higher education, and that is where we are very excited to fill this void.
So coming to the next question, what would you like people to know about university that may not know currently?
Okay, so I mean, people may not know our university itself because we are so new. But if they know about Rishihood, what they may not know is the emphasis that we put on self-awareness or self-actualization, as we call it, which is basically in education. Generally, we are just trying to gain knowledge about our subject. Sometimes we go beyond the subject and gain knowledge about the general world, around us, which we call as general knowledge. And sometimes we go even beyond it and learn what these days we are calling 21st century skills. But in all this, what is missing is knowledge about the self. And that is what we emphasize a lot on. And that is what we would like to know more and more people. That is what we would like more and more people to know about us, that at Rishihood, there is a high emphasis on learning about the self, because ultimately, to do anything in the world, we need to know ourselves.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. So what do you see as Rishihood's greatest strength?
And this is something unique that we are, maybe not unique, but definitely something that is quite noteworthy, that we are trying to do, where the knowledge about the self, then what is happening in the world, what are the challenges and the opportunities that are there, in front of us, and then how do we prepare ourselves to make use of those opportunities or to solve those challenges. That is the framework that we are using, and that is something which is unique to Rishihood.
So any suggestions you would like to give to current youth and aspiring students?
Definitely. For students who are actually from India, the message is that if they just reflect back and think about the history that India has gone through, not just in the last decades, but in the last few centuries, we have come out of a time of a lot of struggle. For maybe the last 1,000 years, as a nation, we were continuously under attack and colonized state of affairs. Yes. Now, after independence, we have reached a stage where we have a stable democracy, a rising economy, a demographic dividend. So if we don't make use of this opportunity now, we might lose an opportunity that has come to us, I would say, after 1,000 years. So when the youth really realize the blessing that they've got by just being born in this time, they would be putting their best efforts to make it a success. So that is my message to the youth, that you realize that this opportunity that you've got is unique. It will not come again.
So how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your university?
Okay, so very good question. We might be definitely in India, but perhaps globally, the only university which has a dean for culture. Generally, we have dean for a department, or a dean for sports, or a dean for students' welfare. We have a very senior professor who is a dean for culture. What this basically means is answering your question of how do we build a healthy culture, and healthy not just in terms of having a good relation between the student and faculty, not just a good lifestyle on campus, but a culture that really inspires people to be their best, to achieve their full potential. And for that, a lot of things play a role. For that, the way our faculty members interact with the students, whether they are just passing on some information or really becoming mentors, life guides for them. The way we set up a culture of the students interacting with each other, the emphasis that we put on things like physical fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness, the kind of projects we give them, the way our whole administrative team and they interact with our students and faculty, the way the campus itself is designed, be very open, very environment friendly kind of a space. So all these things come together to create a culture which enables people towards what we call the Rishihood state. So that is what we are trying to do. Of course, our dean culture, along with all the other deans and the faculty members, they're playing a very important role in this. And we are only 1 year into our operations, and we are seeing some very positive results of having this kind of a setup.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an insightful session, and all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, Gaurav. Pleasure talking to you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.